לא טוב להיות האדם לבדו, אבל הוא לבדו בין כה וכה. לא טוב להיות האדם לבדו, אבל הוא לבדו בין כה וכה. והוא מחכה והוא לבדו, והוא מתמהמה, והוא לבדו. לא טוב להיות האדם לבדו, אבל הוא לבדו בין כה וכה, אבל הוא לבדו בין כה וכה. והוא לבדו יודע שגם אם יתמהמה בוא יבוא, בוא יבוא. והוא לבדו יודע שגם אם יתמהמה בוא יבוא, בוא יבוא. לא טוב להיות האדם לבדו, אבל הוא לבדו בין כה וכה. לא טוב להיות האדם לבדו, אבל הוא לבדו בין כה וכה. והוא מחכה והוא לבדו, והוא מתמהמה, והוא לבדו. לא טוב להיות האדם לבדו, אבל הוא לבדו בין כה וכה, אבל הוא לבדו בין כה וכה. והוא לבדו יודע שגם אם יתמהמה בוא יבוא, בוא יבוא. והוא לבדו יודע שגם אם יתמהמה בוא יבוא, בוא יבוא. לא טוב להיות האדם לבדו, אבל הוא לבדו בין כה וכה. לא טוב להיות האדם לבדו, אבל הוא לבדו בין כה וכה, אבל הוא לבדו בין כה וכה. All the time I wanted to sing with Mati. All the time I wanted to sing with Mati Caspi. I think this is the only time I can actually do that. Yeah. Shalom, shalom, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. שלום, הריני מקבל על עצמי את מצוות עשה של ואהבת לרעך כמוך. I hereby accept to myself the due commandment of the utterance of love your neighbor, your friend, your partner, your gardener, in the same way that you express love to yourself. Hello, welcome, shalom, welcome to the Abracadabra, Create What You Speak. I'm iLan, and I have a wonderful guest. I'm going to introduce her in a second, so I'm going to have you anticipate that. So today is different. I feel different. It's interesting. I have to my right, I have this wonderful person that we've met 2 years ago, right?
Yep, 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Anna Ryan. Hi, Anna.
Hi.
So lovely to see you again.
Yes, you too, and I'm so excited to be here today.
I'm grateful, excited, and it's really fun. We are here at the. I come here every week to share and to hope and to be engaged, and especially what happens throughout the week, how to bring tools and to map our experiences, so we can see where we're coming from and see if how our authentic self is being. How are we authentic to ourselves? You know, and so. But I want to share with everybody. Everybody's here. Oh, hello, Ori. I have Ori here on the line. Ori's from New Hampshire, right? Yes, New Hampshire. I lived in Boston for 14 years. Ori's a good friend. Nice. Thank you. It just tells me nice. This is the first time. I don't know what happened. It was this face app that shows you how you're looking after 50 years or 20 years or whatever, and they had the beer. I said, you know what? Let me see if that's going to be anything. I think and then the beard brought the glasses.
The beard brought the glasses.
The beard brought the glasses. So, hi.
Hi.
So, can you share from your perspective how we've met?
Yeah. So, 2 years ago, we 2 years ago when I didn't have a car at the time in LA, and iLan and I met through Lyft, and we spent so much time talking that night, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. But I think what's so crazy about life sometimes is so much time can go by. So I probably didn't see you then for another year.
I think, right?
Yeah, another year had passed by. I think we'd kept in touch and connected on social media, and I think talked a couple times on the phone. But
and then you reached out, I don't know. We got connected after a year.
Yes,
something like that. We did
and I actually don't recall in what way, but then
we did a session.
Well, we did a session.
Yes.
So I really wanted to do a session with iLan and do the sound bath and sound healing, and it was so incredible. And then a lot of time passed again, but here we are.
Well, here we are again. And so I was when I arrived in LA about 3 years ago. One of the first thing I've done is I did the ride sharing. I drove for Lyft and Uber, and I have to tell you, that was the best networking job I've ever done.
Yeah,
I've ever done. Because of my work and because of what I want to share, it was for me. It was a way of living the experiences of people that come into my car, and usually I also would time it. So I'll say, if there's 10 minutes, you can't really get much in 10 minutes, but usually the rides were at least half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And within a half an hour, I could feel if we're going to have a conversation. I could feel the energy if we could going to have a conversation or not.
Mm.
And then you came, and I don't know what were I don't remember the specifics that we were talking about, but we were talking about really was self-empowerment. And I feel that right at that time there was, you know, we attract those who we are resonant on the same frequency, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel in certain ways, in different stories, in your story and my story, we're in kind of a parallel universes, you know, with our experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Anna, tell me about tell us about you. I mean,
Sure, of
I've
course.
seen since then I've seen how you've took yourself from a place where we've met, that it was a place of challenges,
Mm-hmm.
and let me see, this is better, I think. Let's look a place of challenges, and you flipped it around so beautifully and so elegantly.
Thank you.
Yes, and you're enjoying what you're doing now, and
I am.
yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about.
Yeah, of course. So when we met, I think was just starting my journey of awareness of maybe I didn't know how I felt in my authentic self and what that looked like, and really a journey of growth. And that being just over 2 years ago, I'm looking back at it and seeing where I am now and just going, wow, life and what it brings is so crazy. And I've loved really looking back and seeing in ways that I've grown and stepped into my power, and always creating what you speak. And that was a big lesson for me, because I've always had these big visions and dreams of what I wanted. But I think I didn't always have the confidence or courage as an individual to really fulfill or see myself fulfilling them. Even though growing up in high school, I remember one of my teachers said, he said, I love this age because you still think that you can go out there and pursue your dreams and achieve them. And I just thought, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's just said this to all of us.
What do you mean? What do you mean you can't believe he just said that?
Like,
what did it make you feel?
It made me feel like, how can you take someone who's young, who's 16, and discourage them from pursuing a passion in life, saying that, you know, it's probably not likely. You guys are still living in this bubble that you can go out there and do what you really want to do.
You know, it's interesting because this sentence is pivotal, because you can take the sentence in two directions. So the first thing is applying his story, his disappointment of not being in a place maybe that he would like to be. And he said that if you think that, then you can't do it. But you just experience that if you think it, you also can do it.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like Steve Jobs said, he said, those who were crazy enough to believe that they could change the world are those that would change the world. And it's because, you know, think about this. If you have I don't know. I went blank. I don't know. I went blank. All right.
No, that's okay.
So yeah. So you changed around.
Yeah. And I just knew from that point that was ridiculous. Like, no, that's not true. If you can go out there and work hard, pursue what you want, and know that you can achieve it and not give up on that, that pays off. So it was about, I think after my freshman year of college, I actually saw on a beach trip that I was on, this sign that said, old enough to know better, young enough to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And I just really applied that back to what he said, and to say, you know, he's told us otherwise, that at our age, we should believe that we can't achieve all that we want to, but I know that I'm going to, so I'm going to take this motto and run with it in my own way.
That's wonderful. You know, it's interesting. It's every time that we come on the show or talking something, it all leads up really to the weekly portion. That's many times what I try to do in is to tie the weekly portion to the theme, to a certain theme that we have. And this weekly portion is Shoftim, and the loose term is the judges, right? And it says, it starts with you will put here, I want to make sure. שופטים ושוטרים תיתן לך בכל שעריך, meaning judges and loose term police officers, you will put at all your gates, meaning the executive branch and the execution, how do you say the executive branch?
Executive.
And executive and the branch that carries out the executive decisions, right? and so the judges and so they were talking on the story level of the judges that you put on to keep the law and everything. But really, if we're going on the hint and on the underlining levels, one of the levels of the Torah is really the judges. What do the judges do? They just say what you can do, what you cannot do, and whatever is good for your own benefit, hopefully, right? I'm not talking about what is happening here and in many places in the world. And then the branch that executes the executive decisions are making sure that it'll be adhered to, or for the protection, and for the protection of the people, and for hopefully. So if we look at it on us, we have 4 gates of entry points to our body. We have our eyes, we have our ears, we have our nose, and we have our mouth. Right? So they are not just entry points, but they're also a transmitting points. And the example that and I'll talk about this later, but the example that you've given was exactly about what do you say to yourself?
Yeah.
What do you govern? And you talked about the will. When that person came with his story, telling you cannot do that. He didn't say you cannot do that, actually, right?
No, he didn't say that.
He said, you think you can do that. Good luck.
Yeah.
But he was actually kind of being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Right? But the will, and this is a part of the portion, what is stronger, your will or your mind? What do you think?
I think your will. Sometimes I think that every day we have to be the gatekeeper of our mind.
Amen.
And so I think your will is what leads you to your belief. And you need to pour into that belief every day and work on your mind and what you allow in.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. It's really great because I was actually listening to a lesson from a rabbi in Israel, and it's talking about the gates that we are. The reason the Gemara, it says, "En yetzer ha'adam sholet ela b'ma shu ro'eh," meaning the temptations of the desires and all that we are experiencing from our animalistic presence are not being awoken unless you've seen it. Like, have you been to Mykonos?
I have.
You have? Okay. Well, have you been to Santorini?
I haven't.
I haven't either. Have you seen Santorini? The pictures of Santorini?
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful, right?
It's gorgeous.
Want to go there?
Yeah.
Okay. You've never been there?
No.
But your eyes have seen it.
Yes.
So now we want it.
Yeah. That is so true.
So, and look, we are human. And I'm not claiming anything about me, but it is like that. It is, we see something where we are inputting something into our system. And now that input from the vision side starts creating this desire, this will. Now, your mind will tell you, let's say a place that you shouldn't, that is not good for you to go, or the mind will tell you, look, you can't, will always many times what when the mind will tell you, listen, I just told you, don't do this. If you'll do this what will happen.
Mm-hmm.
But the will is like driving us. And then it starts controlling, justifying. We give justification
Yes. Yeah.
to what we do.
That definitely does happen.
And so with that, you continued. So I'm glad that that's why you're here, and that's why you are where you are, and it's wonderful and it's beautiful. It's an example for encouragement. I don't like the word example. I think example is setting somebody above somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
Encouragement.
Encouragement for everybody to just to start coming out of these places, because this time also, the new year, to start coming out of these places, of these dark places, of these places that we don't want to go into, because if we go there, we may become vulnerable.
Right. And that's huge.
Right.
It's like the way we see the world is that we have to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
But to me, if you're always worried about that, you're not living in your vulnerability, how are you really living your life and pursuing what you want?
Did vulnerability bring you here?
I think so. Yeah. It's definitely been a long journey of being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And continuing to always be out of your comfort zone.
How did that, do you have any, since I've seen you, you've went from one end of the spectrum to the other, and you are working with a company that actually is, when I read about the company, and you can talk about that, it's the vision, right?
Yeah.
It is the vision of understanding sustainability, of understanding connectedness, and it's great. And from what I see, they take good care of you.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's been such a huge blessing for so many reasons, but definitely for personal growth and being on this journey, on this path, because I have a social marketing business with this incredible company, and they are the best of the best, and they really do believe in vision and working together towards changing the world in many ways, through health, through wellness, through sustainability. And what's really awesome though is you look at it and you see, okay, social marketing and health and wellness, which I love. I love getting to share that. But it truly is a personal growth company disguised in health and wellness. And to me, to realize, okay, I've been on this journey, but there might be a lot of people out there who haven't been on a personal growth journey and are feeling enclosed and aren't ready to be vulnerable. But just showing people, it just takes, it takes that courage. It takes building that confidence. And I love, one of my mentors says, you don't need confidence, you just need courage to really get things going.
Yeah, it's when people say it's harder said than done, it is, because it hasn't been done yet.
Yeah.
And so what did you realize when you went through the shift and did you actually notice the shift is happening as it was happening, or did you go through certain things and said, oh, now I get it?
I think I started, so last summer, we took it back from there. Last summer, I think felt the lowest I had personally in my business, and really what I wanted to do and what I wanted my future to look like going forward. So I just felt so lost. And so that's really then in the fall started to transition to this awakening awareness of, okay, but it has to start with myself and making that shift. And so I feel like definitely in December, as that month started, it was kind of like okay, these are some more of the steps. And so having our session was incredible. And it really awoke in me that we have that power within us to really live in our light and let it shine. But we have to be brave enough to go out there and share it and step into that power.
Yeah, reclaiming your power.
Yeah, reclaiming your power.
Reclaiming. And
Yeah.
it's not power over somebody.
No, definitely not.
Because sometimes it's being, sometimes I feel it's being misconstrued, and not in a negative way, just like, this is something I wanted to ask you. The whole Me Too movement, right? Now, I've talked about it in several times, and I want to say hello to everybody. And if you have questions for Anna, or any questions, please write it in the notes there. That happens to me sometimes. The Me Too movement, yeah. So it started as to bring out what needed to come out, the atrocities and the things that were done by men to women initially, and then of course it went to different fractions and what I've and to different people and men as well, because not only women were abused and taken advantage of, but men as well. I think that we are just hearing more of it because it is more in numbers, and sometimes it's also like a social structure, just like with some women that will not come out and say that they were raped. There are also some men that will not come out and say that they went through certain experience. But what I've experienced is that it starts shifting, and if there is not either a beginning of a personal journey, meaning that to go to all these places, to go to all these maybe secrets that are there, that are hindering us from stepping forward and recognizing our power, then if there is not that, then it will go to the other extreme. It'll go to the other extreme. And I gave this example. There was somebody that is a healer and works with women, and she put a post and one time that there was an event only for women, and there were not men except for the man slaves that will be with mask and will be there they will be unidentified because there will be a mask, and they'll be there shirtless and just to just goddess empowerment, you see. So what happens is that there is the way that I see that there is some kind of a wound or something against men, or the experience with masculinity or men, that was not resolved, and now it's being flipped on the other side.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah, I agree, because it to me it definitely sounds like that, because no healing has happened if you're just flipping it the other way and treating another human in the same way that those people might have been treated.
Yeah.
Rather than really going forward and opening up that wound to healing, rather than just labeling in a way that you might have been labeled.
Yeah, and this is and this is no judgment by anything. It is an example of where it can go to a certain direction, and it can happen also on the other side. It can happen also on the other side with
yeah.
But you also so tell me about this. So tell me about this work, about this, what you do. Tell me about what your business is about.
Yes. Absolutely. So I, for me, kind of how I got started was I moved from Virginia to LA to pursue acting. And I love being here for that. But I was just looking for a flexible way to create an income and have that time freedom. And so this came into my life, and I love it because I work, on my own time from home or from wherever I am. But the biggest thing, someone asked me the other night, like, what are you most grateful for? What has been the biggest thing that's changed in your life? And at first, I think we all start our business in social marketing because we want an additional income for ourselves, for our family, flexibility. And I realized, like, yes, it has given me so much more choice.
Yeah.
But what I love about it is purpose. Yeah, purpose, because it's changed my life, but now I want to go out and change other people's lives. And really that's through living a toxin-free lifestyle and sharing what our brand and products are about, or really what this business can do for people.
Not just from the aspect of business, but health. I mean, the whole purpose of it. So do you? Are you going out? Are you going out to on this? Do you make phone calls? You go to company or homes? How does it work?
So it's a mix now, for sure. In 2019, I personally do a mix of a little bit of everything: social media, sharing through social media, sharing with people on there, or phone calls. Sometimes I meet people out and about just when I'm going and living my life, and I might meet somebody who I think it could be a really great fit for and share with them. And sometimes we do fun events. Like we love to do what we call healthy happy hours, to share about living a healthier lifestyle, and we do a margarita Monday and things like that.
What, with kale? Marga kale.
Marga kale.
Marga kale. Yeah, I remember when we met at the. What I do remember that there was vulnerability, and it was beautiful. What she we did sound and some other talking and going into things, and this is the thing, that we are sound. I don't. Have you done other sound sessions before? After that?
Yeah, one other.
Do more.
I need to do more.
Yeah, and that really, I remember that also after that, when we were talking on the phone, when we followed up, and then when we talked, we didn't really need to talk, but I could see that it triggered something in you. It triggered something in you that sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes you just need a little nudge, like the pinball machines. That you just, sometimes the ball is stuck and you're just like kicking the whole thing, and the old pinball machines, I don't know if,
I know.
I mean, I'm already. And so, and sometimes we need this nudge. Sometimes we need this nudge of something from the outside, the shluchim. And shluchim in Hebrew means the messengers, because we're all messengers. We meet for a reason, and we are, however we come into our circle of relationship, any kind of a relationship, any kind of a connection that we have with somebody is a relationship. When you say relationship, people automatically think, no, I don't have it's taken to a whole different thing. But a relationship is a relationship, and we are serving in one another's circle to create that, to continue the journey. And sometimes people take offense to that.
Yeah.
When you tell them, but we are here to serve the purpose for one another. So what do you mean you don't care about that? That's
No, and I do get that. I think people have that, maybe, I don't know if misconception's the right word, but I think people are here to serve each other and help each other and support each other in different ways.
Yeah.
And each situation is different in how you can help somebody. But I definitely think it was a nudge that began that shift, and for me to realize I didn't have to listen to the stories of self-limiting belief. And it really just sent me on that journey of changing that thought process and really getting back to spending time with myself and meditating and understanding the ins and outs, and really feeling like I was connecting and then speaking in my authentic self.
And so what did you feel was the thing that kind of stopped you from, that held you back, before you
I would definitely say just a belief that I wasn't enough, that the way that I didn't have within me, like what it took to really step out of my comfort zone. And
What was your comfort zone?
sitting back, quiet, um, not not getting uncomfortable to really share with what visions I have and where I'm going and how I want to help other people.
Did you feel that if you would share really where you want to be, and you will lose something, you will lose somebody, you will?
I think it was more just I was scared to own it, scared to own where I wanted to be. I think and we probably do that because we think of failure. So it's if you're putting it out there that this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm going, and then we're so worried if people are looking at us and saying, "Oh, well, she's not there yet. Like, what was she talking about?"
So you were concerned about what others would say?
Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah, that was definitely a good chunk of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's.
And I remember actually talking about that with you when we did the healing session.
Yeah, it was something that was very almost like ingrained. Like we come with stories.
Mm-hmm.
You're born into your parents' stories. I'm born into mine, and it's like, so we bring this with a story. So, yeah, well, but it's good. You shifted that. You kind of did. What was the thing that you most fear of? And if you don't want to talk about it, talk about it. No, but if you don't talk about it, that's okay. But that what caused you? What was there has to be some kind of a trigger. Now it could be a bunch of things that come together, but there was something that you thought it would be so devastating, but it wasn't. Did it happen? Like if you would reveal yourself and you would feel vulnerable and you said, this is what I really want to do. This is what I feel is burning here. My desire, my will, right? Not desire, my will to do that, right?
Yeah.
To be in that place. And so was there something that you felt, oh, if I would say that, something will happen, but then when it actually happened, it wasn't as scary? Or
it wasn't. And I think a part of that is what was a fear of judgment or what others would think or say. And knowing that you can just say, okay, you know what? That doesn't matter. And and that's what realization came. And I became more comfortable with just saying, you know what? Who cares? We're only on this planet once to live our life, and I don't want to keep
this time around.
And I didn't want to keep playing so small when I knew that I could have a lot to share and give and help people with their purpose if I started stepping out more.
Okay. What did you do that you didn't want to do at first? Is there something you can?
Yeah. So for me was just sharing where I was going. And that's a huge thing with what I do is being open, getting out of your comfort zone, reaching out to people and sharing
your
really my vision and where I want to be and where I want to go with what I do.
Share with me your vision again.
Absolutely. So my vision for it is so there's a personal one, but also a much greater one.
Yeah.
So personally, I want to have a super successful global business in what I do that just allows for that complete time freedom to really live your life, travel, have fun, have the finances to give back in a major way, start charities and organizations. But when I look at my business as an organization, as a team, I want there to be a never-ending ripple effect of how people can either change their life through this vehicle or even just through their health and knowing that you don't have to live small or to go back to thinking like, you know what, it's not possible to achieve my dreams in life. And I want people to know that whatever is on their heart that they can go after.
Amen. Everything that is on your heart, everything that is on your heart, you can go after. Yeah, and so now you're here. You're they give you like something for a car, like, right?
Mhm.
They give you like a.
Yeah.
I mean, this is. It's nice. I mean, we are here. You know, it's how
Mhm.
we use the stuff, and it's wonderful. Hey, they give you this nice payment for a car and stuff like that. Why not? I think it's a way of.
Yeah. And it's just a way of showing. So we drive the car. It's a white Mercedes. We drive it because it's just a symbol of both our company, but to show other people what's possible. Like if you were to look at me 2 years ago, being someone who's shy, quiet,
Yeah.
not super confident, didn't know anything about business, didn't know anything about products, how she could change her life and be here, then why can't anybody else?
How many brothers and sisters are you?
I have an older brother and older sister.
Oh, sister. Oh, were you born here in LA?
Nope. So I'm from the East Coast in Virginia.
Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you move to LA?
It will be 3 years next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mine was 2 weeks ago. It was 3 years.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. 3 years. Yeah. How were these 3 years? Why did you move from Virginia?
Sorry, just my eyelash. So I moved after I graduated college. I studied theater, acting, and communications, and just knew that I always wanted to move to LA after school.
Because of acting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that just put me on a crazy journey of, moving to a bigger city for the first time, ever, and being on my own and figuring that out, but also figuring out how the world of entertainment works here in LA.
Did you figure it out?
It's always a process. I had an amazing, after my first year, I took a year of just really learning more about the industry, which was definitely eye-opening for me. And it felt like an education I hadn't had. So I loved that. And now I feel like just a process with it. Yeah.
This is the thing, and if anything for today, and as a sharing, as a gift, as a tool to start reclaiming your power is first, to start saying it. Say that which you desire, say that which you envision, say that which you feel. Our mouth is another gateway. And I was referring to as a gateway beautifully. She described it earlier. And it's a gateway. It's not only what we put in, but it's also what we put out. And it's the words. And it's like abracadabra in Aramaic. It means literally, I create